Good morning. Still a beautiful day. June 3rd. It's a Tuesday. Hope you're good out there. We're looking at the rising incidences of scams and business transactions across Nigeria. MAZI Obidigbo is a public affairs analyst who has some insights to share with us this morning. He's on the Zoom platform. Good to have you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
What for you are the most common scams that we have right now in business, especially across Nigeria?
All right. Primarily, I think is the what we call the cyber scam is very common, and it comes in forms of primarily it started with receiving messages on your phone, and most of those messages will come with a link, you know, and they do it in such a way that it looks you know you know on not threatening, just simple like a simple conversation. Click on the link so that you you either join a Zoom meeting or you know register for something. They make it very attractive. Some other times they will call you and tell you that there is going to be a Zoom meeting in so time, that they will send a code to you. What they're actually doing is they want to have access, all right, to your personal information, either bank information, or have access to your email, or have access, you know, to things that should be personal. And when you do that, suddenly you discover if they want to take possession of your bank details, after some time, you would start seeing, text messages, alert, you know, and some other time they just want to, if they do that in on a, let's say, a WhatsApp platform. After some time, you discover that you've lost access to your WhatsApp group, and they would start, contacting your friends, making demands for money. There are emergencies, please help, those kind of a thing. We call this type of cyber um, attacks, we call them phishing, right? Because the essence is to deceive you to have access to your private details like bank account, password, and private information. And at times also they get um, the you know want to you know gain access to your friends, all right, and begin to make calls demanding money. It's very common. It's actually very common. Then there are times also you get phone calls. They introduce themselves as people from your bank. They will introduce themselves as your customer care from Social Bank, and that they are doing updates, and discover that your your bank information needs some updates. Now, immediately they start asking questions like your date of birth, all those things. If you release them, I'm telling you, in few minutes after that call, you will start getting, you know, um, alert messages. Okay. Then another type is a situation uh, whereby somebody comes to your shop, you know, picks some goods, then makes so-called payment, and you will get alert on your phone that somebody has made payment. Now, only for you to discover when you want to access the money, you suddenly discover that is a fake alert. All right, they use softwares to do that. Sure, those guys have so much advanced, such that at times you even open up your, because when they started, you know, would advise people to please open your what do you call it, your bank app, and check if you actually received um, the alert, the money. Now these days, at times they've gone step ahead. At times you open and you see so-called money until when you want to use the money. Right. So it comes in different ways, but these are common, ways that people are defrauded. Then also invest what they call investment schemes. They'll tell you um, that if you deposit so amount of money, after like few months or few days, okay, they don't even go into months, 1 week you will get 100%, right? And greed will always drive people, to make such investments only to discover that after some time, those guys are nowhere to be found, right? So these are actually common ways that people are scammed currently, how businesses are scammed. So people need also to be very careful. Then we also have what we call romance scam. It's very common. As a matter of fact, I get emails. They will start with introducing themselves, use one name that you may be familiar with. He's very rich. He lost she lost the husband, and she wants to give, wants to connect with you and see how he can share the wealth with you. Please, if you're interested, no. And if you get involved in such conversations, before you know what is happening, somebody will ask you to send money so that he would help you to do a transfer. We call it advance pre-fraud. you know, they combine a lot of things, both advance pre-fraud, where you need to make um, uh, advance payment um, in return for a very huge amount of money. For the romance scam, they will first of all connect with you as if they are interested in love, and you start talking before you know what is happening. He wants to visit. Please, can you help him? He can't withdraw money. Help him with just 10,000 so that he can visit. Those things. And people start releasing money only for you to discover that after you have spent a lot of money, that you have been scammed. All right. So they come in diverse ways.
Right. Quite important that you took out time to, explain these levels. I'm just wondering, for someone who is a common man who just wants to get protected from all of these, issues, is there a way someone can protect themselves practically of this? Because it's almost seems as if it's impossible. Because if you're not online, you must be somewhere or offline. These days, you don't have to be online in order for you to even be duped. And another question is, do you think that jazz, African magic, is involved in these types of, transactions? So much so that someone feels hypnotized to the point that, they don't know themselves until maybe when they pay out the money. Like, how does that happen, especially online?
All right. Personally, I do not think it has anything to do with jazz. It's a psychological issue. All right. Let me explain something. Let me use a data to explain something. In 2020, Nigerian interbank settlement system released a report that the Nigerian banks lost, you know, like 3.5 billion to related scam and fraud. Remember, most of these scam people go through the bank. You have to make transactions, okay? So that's this. Now, let's move forward to 2024. Remember, I said this happened in 2020. That was a report, right? It's in the public domain. 3.5 billion naira was lost to related scam and fraud, all right? Now, in 2024, the amount went to around 42 point something billion, right? And now this was reported by financial FITC. FITC, that's a Financial Institute Training Center, reported that. Now, I want you to look at the percentage. From 2020 to 2024, you are looking at more than 1,000% increase. More than 1,000% increase. So the question is, why? Right. It's simple. Scam thrives in poverty. Scam thrives in economic crunch. because people are desperate, right? People, want to get out of their financial mess now, now, now. They think, so it's a psychological issue. Let me tell you how it happens. Imagine getting a call and the person calls you by your name. I've gotten such calls. And when I get them, I don't even bother myself. I just listen. Then when they finish, I would like their credit to burn and they'll cut. And they'll start calling me all kinds of names. Now, somebody calls you by name and asks about the family and just tells you that, you know, there is this, he knows your business because they will call your name, call your business name, ask you about your family. There's even one engineer, fake engineer, I will even ask about my wife, you know, and they will not ask you, tell you that there is a contract, whether you are interested and that he has a privileged information. If you're interested, let him know so that he can disclose some information, tell you, what to do. He will mention the materials that you need to supply. Just gentle and seems safe. And if you say you are interested, now it begins. You see, immediately you say I'm interested, you have released part. It's a psychological thing. You have released part of your strength. Okay, you are vulnerable at that moment. So nobody is actually using any jazz on you. And before you know what is happening, he will ask for very little amount of money, 1,000, and you feel you will maybe ask for 10,000 for him to register your company so that federal government will know you are registered. Start with something simple and you have started spending. Right. So I do not believe it is a jazz thing. I don't believe it's juju. Some people believe it, but this is personal. I do not believe it. I think is people, thrive or try to work on your emotions, right? Your vulnerability, your greed. Most people who are scam, I didn't say everybody, just greed, right? Or you feel that you do not have opportunities again. There is no hope. I can't really survive except they say if I bring 100,000 naira, um, I will get 200,000 in the next 1 week. And if a so-called friend of yours have shown you an alert that he did it and he got it, all right, you know, and you want to get out of poverty, you want to pay your children's school fee. There is this financial need that you have at that moment, and your emotions have taken over your intelligence. So your emotions are now maybe 80%, while your intelligence has come down to 20%, when actually your intelligence should be more than your emotions. And at that moment, you don't think properly. Anybody who wants to advise you, you see the person as an enemy who doesn't want you to get out of this financial mess right now. And those guys come with this form of urgency. Look, this thing will end in the next 24 hours. And you don't want to miss these 24 hours. You don't want to miss this opportunity. And now greed will drive you. And after you have lost the money, you tell us that they use jazz. You don't know what come over you. Nothing come over you. It's a psychological problem. All right. They were riding on your emotional, vulnerability. To me, this is actually what happens. And I don't know for other people, but I've had opportunities to talk to people, exchange, discuss with people, especially who were victims. And I discover at the end, most times, not all of them. Remember, there are many factors, okay, that are responsible for this, but many at times is financial gain, especially the immediate financial gain, and it works because we see people, what somebody called enterprise, sorry, wealth without enterprise. You want to make money without really having any business, just it's quick money, and you are in for it.
Fantastic thought. So it's more about the person's greed. How these people succeed at the end of the day, it's largely about the person who is being deceived, isn't it? I mean, if I understand exactly you're trying to say.
Yeah, yes, exactly. You see, remember, these things are based on deception, all right? Deception, like, they come like angel of light. They want to take you away from poverty, all right? They want to increase that 100,000 to 200,000 within 24 hours. And who wouldn't want to become rich in 24 hours? All right. So the essence is to deceive, all right, but they come with like angels of light, but the purpose is simply to deceive, you know and collect the money and disappear.
Is it the same reasons why Ponzi scheme thrives in Nigeria? I mean, it almost seems as if it's a continuous thing. Like one Ponzi scheme is out today, tomorrow another one comes in, Nigerians hop on that one. In fact, this one is finishing, they're warning them about it, they've lost monies on one, the next minute another one is opening, they are jumping on it. Like you've mentioned poverty. Is it just about poverty and greed that drives people? Don't you think that there's something more about this schemes? That promise a high volume. Because again, just like you mentioned, that you have to work. There's dignity in labor. You have to exchange certain services in order for you to make monies. But if somebody's promising you 100% in 24 hours, sometimes in 1 month, I mean, you should start thinking critically about, these offers, isn't it?
Yeah. Now let me say this. Ponzi schemes thrive in bad economies. I can tell you for sure. Ponzi schemes thrive in bad economies. So poverty is a factor number one. Then illiteracy, financial illiteracy is another factor, another important factor, right? Now, these Ponzi schemes, they don't answer Ponzi schemes, remember. We call them Ponzi schemes because they really are, but they come with investment. And we have been telling people, invest. Remember, that's what we tell people, invest, invest. And they think anything that will increase their money is investment. They don't know that these are not investment, that these are simple scams, frauds, Ponzi schemes. I have had the opportunity to, you know, somebody comes to my DM in WhatsApp and ask me, okay, look at what I saw. And I would listen. When they finish, I will tell them, look, this is a Ponzi scheme. They will tell me, no, it's not a Ponzi scheme, they are sure. And I'll just be looking at it's very obvious to me, it's very obvious, 100% it's Ponzi scheme. I will end up telling them, in the next 1 year, I would like to ask you how far. And I know that 1 year is very far, but I will give them that privilege, give them time. And I can tell you, 100%, all of them will scam. All right. So, lack of financial education. We don't understand what investment is. Although the government agencies are trying to educate people, but that's why everything is. I keep saying that. Number one factor is economic problem. Ponzi schemes, scams thrive in poverty. It's just, look, it's just the truth. It's difficult. If a white man will succeed in scamming you, he's going to do it because he knows that you are living in a country where there is high level of poverty. And he's coming like a savior. He comes like a savior to help you get out of poverty. Now, let me turn it the other way around. If a black man or an African man will scam a white man, he will not come like a savior. They will go through, romance, scam, love. You know, in those days, they come like, hey, my father is the owner of a gold mine, right? Now, it's different now. My father is the owner of a gold mine in Africa because all of them with the Africans, we have, natural resources, we have minerals. My father is an owner of an oil well. They would create fake documents from CBN, from banks, and forward to you, forward it to the white people. And the white people will believe them because those things seems to be real. And he will tell them, look, you need to send some money so that I would begin processing the documents to get you the right to mine it. It's stuff like that. So, but now, you see that type of scam. It doesn't yield anything right now. So they go to romance because these people want love. Okay. That at times also they go through, contracts, government contracts. And they, I've gotten a lot of things. I even gotten one call from Abuja, and he claims to work in Aso Villa Hospital, you know, and and that time I know that Aso Villa released a tender, public tender for supply of equipment. And he told me, yeah, and I know about that. You know what I did immediately? I called a friend who works there. He doesn't know that. I called a friend. The friend said, federal government, yes, they release, but federal government is not doing any procurement right now. And that was the end of the discussion. Simple. I'm telling you, I have a lot of stories to tell about these people because I get a lot of them. Virtually like I say, there were there were months where I would get up to 3, 4 calls. Many a time when those calls, I will I will even drop the phone on my table and allow the person to waste his data. When the person discover what is happening, next thing you start cursing you, I'll start laughing. So it's very common. So, but the truth is that it thrives in poverty. These people that are doing this, they know that Nigerians are poor and they want to quickly, desperation, they want to get out of poverty. And they feel that the victims feel, look, this is an opportunity for me. Somebody will come to you and say, look, I have a business now. I have a contract I want to solve. Somebody has called you, actually. So it's not like somebody will call. I'm telling you what I've experienced. I have a contract. There's this oil company, there is a mineral they need, this and that. When he finished the story, I said, brother, that's a scam. He said, no, it's not a scam. That he's sure that this and that. I said, my brother, I'm telling you it's a scam. Don't get involved in losing money. Unfortunately, he didn't listen. And he saw me at that time as somebody who doesn't want to help him. And my friend, his story touches the heart, actually. He lost his money. I think he borrowed some money and lost money. So he came back to square zero. Not even square zero, minus. Because square zero is at least, at flat level. But when you are in minus, it means that you are owing. You've lost money, but you're still owing. So you're not just at square zero, you are in minus because you have to come up to zero level and begin to grow again. And this is what has been happening. And the truth is that these things affect real businesses. Because the next person thinks that, oh, they have come again. Even if you come with real business, they will think you are one of them.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So it's affecting real businesses, genuine people who are running business. Recently, I had a conversation with a colleague in kind of a school, and we are discussing about how scam is affecting our businesses. I told him, look, just be yourself, be honest, be sincere, continue what you're doing. Forget about those guys; they will be there, right? If people believe you're a scammer, ask them, have I scammed you? They will say no. He's just suspecting. I said, go and find, go and do your due diligence, go and ask, go anywhere and ask. And I think if you are honest and you're sincere in business, right, you will be bold to tell people, give people your credentials like your name, your business name, your business, what they call it, CSC registration number, all those basic information, and tell them to go and do their due diligence. Ask questions. I even go, at times I take risks. I tell people, I say, go online, Google my name, Google my business, believe everything that you see there. Believe the bad, the good, and the ugly about me. And if you want us to do business, come back. I go to that extent to challenge people. Fortunately, nobody has come to me and say, "Oh, you have been scamming people." Unfortunately, again, most of them don't even do that. At times, Nigerians are very funny people, very good people, to be honest with you. Um, Somebody said it's laziness. Many people actually don't have that time to do due diligence on anybody. But people who really do come back and tell you, okay, let's talk. So these things are affecting real businesses, affecting sincere people, genuine people, because everybody now is a suspect. All right. So, but genuine people should continue to do their business, be honest, be sincere, make sure you don't stain any, don't stain your clothes. Do the right things, and people will do business with you. Everybody's name is scam.
Right. So how do you identify, businesses or transactions that are fraudulent or Ponzi scheme that are fraudulent, and how does one protect oneself from it? I mean, you mentioned clicking of links sent to you, clicking of something to get some benefits, as the case may be. For you, how do you identify one a scheme that is fraudulent, or it may be something that looks like it's true, and somebody would even show you evidence, and then, but how do you identify it? How do you test that particular, you know, gesture to, ascertain where if it is true or a false, gesture? And then secondly, how do you protect yourself from all of these scams?
All right. Number one, let me say this. A Ponzi scheme is a scam. There is no good Ponzi. There is nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there is nothing like that. The Ponzi scheme is a scam. All right. Now, I think what you
But how,
mentioned
how,
good
how do you
Ponzi.
even
That's
know
why I
it's a
say that
Ponzi
there
scheme?
is.
Because some people don't even know which one is which. I mean, these things spring up every day. You could see somebody just
Yeah,
pop up from WhatsApp. I did this and I got this, and start bringing, documents showing that he
document.
had received his
Yeah.
monies, as the case may be. So, how do you identify those? Which one is it? Like, how do you test it and make sure that they're actually
No.
false?
All right. I will try to break this thing down in simple, layman's understanding. Number one, genuine businesses must have genuine products, real products, and real services, not assumed services. No, real products and services. So if somebody says, there is this business in town, allow him or her to finish and now ask him, what are the products and services that these people offer? If he cannot mention any tangible products, my friend, it is scam. Now, let's go to service because service is relative,
Yeah.
service is relative. Product is simple to identify and service is relative. So the question is, what service do you offer? And he begins to stammer, he begins to tell stories. My friend, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi. Now, let me also say this because this is actually where all of them have gone to cryptocurrency.
Right.
Yeah, cryptocurrency. All of them have gone to cryptocurrency because crypto, everybody. Some of them will show you picture of the president of America is supporting a Bitcoin. They will come with the real thing and end up with the wrong thing. They will come with Bitcoin, all right? And by the time they will tell you that Bitcoin started 11 or 12 years ago and it was valued at nothing, and today it is 100 and this. Oh, if you do this, no problem. They will start with the right thing and end up with the wrong thing. So let me say something about, let me say something briefly about the cryptocurrency they talk about. If you want to do any cryptocurrency business, I advise you go and learn how to trade. Don't give anybody or group of persons your money to trade for you and pay you. Immediately you hear that, my friend, is a scam. Deposit money and we'll do the trading for you and give you percentage. My brother, is a scam. So cryptocurrency is designed in such a way that you do it yourself. So if you do that and lose money, it simply means you've not learned how to trade. It's a skill. Trading cryptocurrency is a skill. Also, assuming you don't want to trade cryptocurrency, you can actually, do what we call investment. Let me give you an example. In Nigeria currently, Nigeria has licensed exchanges, okay, meaning that their government is controlling it, not controlling the crypto, but the organization. Government is aware. So find those exchanges that have been licensed by the SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, right?
All right.
Then, if you don't want to trade, buy Bitcoin and leave it there.
All right.
Just like the way you buy equity, the way you buy share. You can buy a company share today. In the next 6 months, the value comes down. In the next 10 years,
It goes
will
up.
rise up to 100, 300, it goes up. So, but that one is investment. So that one needs long-term mindset,
All
long-term
right.
mindset. This short-term, gratification, short-term thing. You want to deposit money and tomorrow, my friend, it
You
doesn't
want to
work
make it
with
high.
investment. But if
All
you are
right, Mazi.
trading, but trading demands a lot of skill, patience. You have to learn. And because you are learning, we advise people start with $10, small money, $5. Trade, you can lose it. Yes, it simply means you are learning. Okay,
All right,
but
Mazi.
it's a skill. It's a skill that you have to learn how to do it.
Right. Mazi, we have to leave it there because of time. Well, thank you again for your insight. We truly appreciate your thoughts on this. I'm sure that is something that will be in our continuous discussions on our panel. So maybe sometime later we can invite you to talk more on this. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
All right, MAZI Obidigbo, giving us insight into the rising cases of business transactions that have fallen by the wayside, and I'm sure they must have picked a thing or two. If you missed out, you can join us on our YouTube channel. That particular broadcast will be up there in a couple of minutes. Thank you so much. We're back shortly after this. To stay with us.
Signature TV. News in your pocket.